Welcome back to the Chris Macpherson Show Daily Dose. It's time to talk some cricket, and there's plenty happening in world cricket right now. We're going to check in on the Asian Cup and the early results. We'll recap the first women's one-day international between Australia and India. We'll wrap things up with England versus South Africa's men's T20 series. Before we jump in, of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell down below so you don't miss any episodes. And if you want more clips, highlights, and extras, follow us across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X, all at the Chris Mac Show. That's where you can find us. Let's start it off with the Asian Cup, and it's been a fascinating first week of action. The first game was Afghanistan versus Hong Kong, and Afghanistan came out firing and never looked back, posting a dominant total led by Omarzai's fireworks. He hammered 53 runs from just 21 deliveries, clearing the ropes with ease and setting the tone. When Hong Kong replied, they were rattled almost immediately, and only Babar Hayat showed any real resistance, making 39 from 43 balls, nearly half of their team's runs. But with every Afghan bowler contributing, Hong Kong's chase clearly fizzled out, Afghanistan claiming a thumping 94-run win to open their campaign. In Game 2, it was India, the favourites, up against the host, the UAE, and if Game 1 was dominant, this was a demolition. The UAE were bundled out for just 57, their innings barely stretching into the 13th over. And then India's top order showed absolutely no mercy. Abhishek Sharma and Shubman Gill went at a strike rate of around 200, chasing the target in only 27 deliveries. In terms of bowling, Kuldeep Yadav was the standout for the Indians, 4 wickets for just 7 runs from just 2.3 overs. For the tournament favourites, it was as clinical as you could get. It was as clinical as you will see. Absolute fireworks. Game 3, we saw Hong Kong back in action. They came up against Bangladesh, their first outing. And look, Hong Kong did improve from their first outing. They posted 7 for 143 with solid contributions across the board. Zishan Ali made 30. Captain Nizazat Khan chipped in with 42. And Yasir Murtaza added late fireworks with 28 off 19. But Bangladesh, they weathered the storm, and despite an edgy start, Captain Lyndon Das and Towid Hridoy combined for a 95-run partnership of just 69 deliveries. Das falling for 59 with just 2 runs required for the win, but the game was already over. Bangladesh cruising home with 14 balls to spare, but the narrow margin of victory in terms of deliveries could come back to haunt them later in the tournament in terms of net run rate. Our fourth game saw Pakistan come up against Oman, and Oman thought they had the dream start when Shai Fazal trapped Saeem Ayub LBW on the second ball of the innings. But from there, the Pakistan side took control. Mohammad Harris electric, smashing 66 from 43 balls with 7 fours and 3 sixes. Farhan and Fakhar Zaman backed him up, though late wickets did peg Pakistan back slightly, with Faisal and Amir Kaleem each taking 3 wickets. Still, you felt the total of 161 was going to be far too much for Oman to chase down against a strong bowling attack. And the chase never really got going. Pakistan's bowlers shared the load, 6 of them taking wickets, as Oman collapsed for 67 inside 17 overs, a victory margin of 93 runs, a thumping win for Pakistan first up. We then head into Game 5, Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh, the first of what you might call the heavyweight clashes of this tournament. And Bangladesh, their innings started in disaster. Both openers gone without a run on the board, and they failed to get off the mark in the first 2 overs. 2 wicket maidens to start. They were 2 for none at the close of the second over. So much work to do. Their captain again, Lyndon Das, tried to steady the ship with 28. A middle order pair, Jaqar Ali and Shamim Hussain, gave the innings a bit of shape with knocks in the 40s, and they scraped their way to 139. But Sri Lanka, their reply, ruthless. Patham Nissanka cruising to 50 from 34 balls, and Kamil Mashara adding an unbeaten 46. The chase was done in just 14 and a half overs. A statement win for the Sri Lankans with 32 balls to spare, really setting themselves up for a good run at the Super Fours. And then Game 6, India v Pakistan. This one carried all the hype pre-tournament, and we were certainly expecting a lot as the two foes came head-to-head. Knowing what's going on off the field as well as the rivalry on the field, this one was a mouth-watering clash. Pakistan won the toss and they chose to bat, but for the second time in as many games, Saeem Ayub fell for a golden duck, and India's bowlers never let up, taking wickets at regular intervals. Farhan top scored with 40 from 44, and Shaheen Shah Afridi gave a little late life innings dash, smashing 33 not out from 16 deliveries with 4 sixes. But with 5 batters in single digits, the Pakistan total was underwhelming. Kuldeep Yadav again proving decisive, 3 for 18 from his 4 overs as Pakistan limped to 9 for 127. In reply, again, India's top order looked comfortable, and certainly you can see why they were and are the tournament favourites. Abhishek Sharma blasted 31 off 13 to get things off to a cracking start before captain Surya Kumar Yadav guided the chase with an unbeaten 47 from 37. India cruising home by 7 wickets with 4 overs to spare. Ironically, the only wicket taker for Pakistan was Saeem Ayub, who claimed all 3 dismissals in defence of their total. What does that mean as for the group standings? After 6 matches, we've now seen all 8 teams in action, with 4 of the sides, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Hong Kong, having played twice. In Group A, the 2 full member nations lead the way, India sitting in the box seat with wins over both Pakistan and the UAE. While Pakistan do sit second with 1 win and 1 loss, they know a win in their final match against the host will be enough to get them through. Oman and UAE both winless from their games so far, but it's going to be interesting. A win in the final round for India and Pakistan, as I said, will confirm their spots in the Super 4 stage. India should go through realistically, irrespective of that result. Meanwhile, the UAE versus Oman clash, will likely determine who finishes third, barring some upset in those India and Pakistan games. In Group B, things are much tighter. Afghanistan sit on top on net run rate after their opening win being so comprehensive, but they do still have to play both Sri Lanka and Bangladesh 2 big matches. Sri Lanka look well placed, already banking a win over Bangladesh, and with Hong Kong next up, a fixture they'll be favoured to win. That would confirm Hong Kong to finish in bottom spot and set Sri Lanka up to advance. Really looking forward to seeing what we've got coming. Obviously, Bangladesh as well in a tough spot. They have to beat Afghanistan in their final match and do so by a reasonable margin if they're to have any chance of progressing. Their net run rate of minus 0.65 is a problem, especially compared to Sri Lanka at plus 2.59 and Afghanistan at plus 4.7. A huge deficit to make up. The finishing order will depend on a number of key clashes, including Afghanistan versus Bangladesh on Tuesday night and Sri Lanka versus Afghanistan on Thursday local time. Those results will decide who advances. Looking ahead, tonight's action features the only pool stage doubleheader. The host UAE take on Oman in a crucial clash to decide third in Pool A in Abu Dhabi, while Hong Kong will close out their campaign against Sri Lanka in Dubai. Now to move on to the men's T20 series between England and South Africa. And it's been a frustrating series with the weather having real impact. Game 1 at Headingley was rain hit before a ball was bowled, reduced to just 9 overs per side initially. England won this toss and they put South Africa in, and South Africa got off to a flyer, happy to concede wickets falling for runs. They reached 5 for 97 in just 7.5 overs before more rain cut their innings short. Aidan Markram 28 from 14, DeWalt Brevis blasted 23 off 10 with 3 sixes, and Donovan Ferreira chipping in with 25 not out from 11, meaning England's chase was under pressure and was going to be a scramble. The match was adjusted to being a 5-over match, with the Duckworth-Lewis-Stern total being set as 68 as a target from just 5 overs, and only Josh Butler got going, 25 from 11 balls. Sam Curran tried late with 10 from 3, but it was all gone by that time. They needed 25 off the final over, which meant it was out of reach. Marco Jansen and Corbin Bosch each took 2 wickets as South Africa snatched the series opener. We moved on to Game 2 at Old Trafford, which ended up being the only full match of the series, and England exploded. Sent in by South Africa, Phil Salt and Josh Butler tore them apart. They hit 18 off the first over, raced to 100 in the 6-over power play, and reached 1 for 166 at the halfway point of the innings. Butler hammered 83 off 30 before falling, including the 3rd fastest half-century for England. Salt carried on to 141 not out from 60 balls, the highest ever T20 score by an Englishman and 7th all-time in international cricket. England posting a record for them, 2 for 304 from their 20 overs. It was a mountain of a chase for South Africa, and they were never going to climb it once they got started. Aidan Markram top scored with 41, Stubbs and Ferreira added cameos, and Fortuyn hit 32 at a strike rate of 200, but it was all in vain against the pressure. Bowled out in the 17th over for 158, a massive 146-run defeat. England's biggest ever T20 victory and South Africa's heaviest defeat in the format, tying us all up at 1-1 in the series and heading into Game 3 which unfortunately was washed out without a ball bowled, leaving the series drawn at 1-1, and with realistically the weather taking all of the headlines. But hats off to Phil Salt, hats off to England for that phenomenal game too. It's a record breaker. It will sit in the books for some time to come, you'd have to think. Finally, we head to Chandigarh, where Australia's women face India in the first of 3 ODIs. Now, India won the toss and they batted first. Smriti Mandana set the tone with 58 before being run out, while Harleen Diol also made a half-century. Unfortunately, though, India's middle order couldn't cash in, and despite forcing the Aussies to use 8 bowlers, they managed to keep them in check from the bowling side. From 2 for 150 in the 32nd over, they added just 130 more runs, finishing 7 for 281 at the end of their innings. Australia's reply, calm and calculated. Alyssa Healy made 27 to get things rolling at over a run a ball. But it was the partnership between Phoebe Litchfield and Elise Perry that steered the innings. Perry did have to retire hurt with calf cramps after 43 on the board. She did have treatment twice from the physio in an attempt to keep going, but the 17th over, she had to hang that up. Phoebe Litchfield powered on to 88 from 80 balls before falling, and from there, Beth Mooney and Annabelle Sutherland closing the job, both hitting half-centuries, and Australia cruising home in the end to an 8-wicket win with 35 balls left. Phoebe Litchfield was named player of the match, her 88 setting the tone for a clinical chase. Australia taking a 1-0 lead with 2 games to still play in the series, so we look forward to those matches and catching them very, very soon. That's your Daily Dose for today. The Asian Cup is heating up. England and South Africa battled it out and wrapped up their white ball series. And Australia's women got it started and got stuck into this tough series in India away. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Ring that notification bell as well. And of course, you can follow us across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X at The Chris Mack Show. Until next time, we look forward to bringing you all of your sporting action. I'm Chris Macpherson. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.